For more on the strike by Transnet workers, we're joined by the South African Transport and Allied Workers Union General Secretary Jack Mazibuko with me in studio tonight. Mr. Mazibuko, a very good evening to you. Welcome to News at Prime. So, talks are ongoing still at the CCMA. I wonder if you're more positive tonight that there will be a resolution between yourselves and the employer.
Yes, it's true. We are still at the CCMA with Transnet, and then we have invited two commissioners who are facilitating the process. Since early hours of the morning, around 10 o'clock, we started to engage on the picketing rules. We are about to finalize them. As soon as we finalize the picketing rules, then we'll start on the offer that the company is putting on the table.
And when you talk about the picketing rules, because Transnet raised this last week as well at the beginning of the strike, what would those be?
Normally, in terms of the collective agreement that we have, before we start with the strike, we must firstly agree with the picketing rules. But last week Friday, we meet with Transnet with a hope that we'll be able to discuss the picketing rules before we can start with our strike today. Unfortunately, unreasonably, they refused to enter into that discussion up until they were forced by the CCMA to come to the table and discuss the picketing rules with us.
Do you feel, though, that you and Transnet have come closer to an agreement today, now that this is happening with the CCMA involved?
As things stand, Transnet hasn't yet disclosed the position or the offer that they are giving to us. The only offer that we still have is the one that they have presented last week of 3% plus 1% and in a form of a lump sum. So we haven't started yet to hear what is the revised offer for today. We are busy with only picketing rules.
What would you accept?
Workers will accept anything above double digits. That will be something that workers can consider. If Transnet come with something lesser than double digit, unfortunately, we'll have to engage our members. At the end of the day, they will direct us.
But no one is paying double-digit increases at the moment. At least we haven't seen any major double-digit agreement signed, especially in the last while. And Transnet has gone from, I think it was just over 1%, what they were offering initially, which they've now doubled into this 3% to 4% range. So it's a long way off from, let's say, 10, 11, 12%.
You see, it is difficult for me to explain because we don't know what they are offering, but based on the demand that workers have given to us, we want double digits.
What's double digits?
Double digits, anything above 10%. Initially, we wanted 12%, and then if they can give us 10%, we'll be fine. But we are hoping that through the facilitation process of the CCMA, they will bring something reasonable on the table.
So even if they doubled their current offer, it would still fall short of what you're demanding, because let's say if they doubled the offer now, it would only bring you to about 8%. Would you accept 8% with perhaps a higher cash lump sum, higher than the 5,000 rand that's already floating about?
It is something that we need to go and sell it to our members and get a proper mandate, depending whether that 8% that they are bringing, what are the conditions attached to that particular percentage. But of course, if they come up with 8%, we will have to go and consult with our members and obtain proper mandate with regard to that.
How long do you see the strike continuing for? Because I know your colleagues started to strike last week. You're joining in today at the beginning of this week. How long do you anticipate it will take?
Looking at the commitment now that there is a CCMA that is facilitating and the Minister of Labour was part of our negotiation process, we are very much optimistic that we might find a solution soon.
And if Transnet pleads poverty, as other employers have been doing, if they say they simply can't afford double digit, what then?
Then we will, unfortunately, we are left with no option. We will be forced to go on strike and intensify our strike if they are not giving us what we want.
What does intensify mean?
It means that we need to follow the legal processes to apply solidarity from other sectors that we are organizing to make sure that we mobilize as many workers as we can.
Am I right to say at the moment with this strike, Transnet is going to be applying a no work, no pay rule?
That's true. That's what they have told us, and that's what we have also agreed upon in the picketing rules. They will apply no work, no pay, and our members, they say they don't have a problem as long as Transnet can give them something reasonable. And
without taking away from your cause, because workers have said, look, wages have not gone up significantly in the last 2 years or so, yet the cost of living has, in fact, in the last 8 months of this year, continued to soar. So that is the cause, right? But when you look at strikes, especially protracted strikes, it usually starts with everyone saying, well, I'm perfectly fine with losing wages if in the long term that leads me to that, let's say in this case, double-digit increase. But if this continues for 2, 3, 4 months, as we've seen in the past, the buy-in from striking workers begins to wane. So how do you keep them committed to the cause, especially given that you don't know how long this will continue?
Time to time, after negotiations, we go back to our members and get a fresh mandate and advise them based on what the company is offering. And all the time when you talk to them, they are saying they are ready to continue with their strike. We will remember that members have been affected negatively by COVID-19. The price of petrol that is increasing on a daily basis also affect employees of Transnet. Hence now they think with double digits will be a reasonable offer for them.
Well, I was looking at something earlier that said, I think about 66% of Transnet's costs go towards the payment of salaries for 40,000 workers. Do you worry that there may be a scenario, maybe not now, but down the line, where Transnet starts to look at retrenchments to try and bring that down?
We are not worried that much because we are a recognized union. In an event that Transnet will want to retrench, surely they must give us a very good reason why they want to retrench. But we are not going to allow a situation where workers were working so hard during the COVID-19, when they request an increase, then they have been threatened by retrenchment. We will engage Transnet in an event that they want to retrench workers.
Mr. Jack Mazibuko from Satau, good to have your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.